case that you have declining marginal utility, which I believe, then you should think that there is a beverage that should be a little less sweet. And my view here was that adults who wanted to have a non-alcoholic beverage were really in trouble because they didn't have something that made a lot of sense. There were sodas, but that's very sweet. And so what we did in our house is we mixed orange juice and club soda. And that's not quite Orangina. Orangina is as sweet as orange juice. This is half as sweet. By the way, half the calories. And what would the cost of making it be? Half as much. Because it's half water, which is free, and half orange juice, which is expensive. And so the question then is, well, what about that as a product? So what do you think about that as a business idea? Easy to be replicated. Okay. And in particular, one of the things that's, most business ideas will fail. And if you're lucky enough to succeed, everyone knows what you've done. People will copy you. And Tropicana has better orange juice than I do. Tropicana is owned by Pepsi. Minute Maid has better orange juice than I do. They're owned by Coke. So they have better costs, better product. And in the end, what I would be is test marketing for them. And I'm not sure I could really build a brand around the idea of orange juice and club soda, as good an idea as it is. And that's the problem with those ideas, that they're good for somebody else, even if they're not good for you. And so, literally for 10 years, I was kind of stuck on this and didn't proceed because I find, at best case, we'd be copied. So, on the other hand, actually I guess I'll come back to this, I went to India and I learned three things. And I went to India to write a case study about Tata tea. Our dean at the time thought that our business school should be more international. We should have international cases. And so he found some rich alum who would pay for me to go to India, which I'd never been to, and I went to write a case study on an old business and a new business. I picked as the old business tea and the new business auto parts. As part of the case study, I went to a tea auction. And I learned three things about tea. One, that I could tell great tea from bad tea. So I couldn't tell, if I thought about this as wines, I couldn't tell Chateau Haut-Brion from Chateau Petrus. But I could tell both of them from two-buck chuck, from Gallo in a paper jug, from really cheap wine. Okay? And I realized that I had been drinking really bad tea my whole life, without any idea that there was something that was much better, and that there's really no excuse for drinking bad tea, because excellent tea, not maybe Chateau Margaux, but Chateau Longepage or the equivalent Kendall Jackson, 5 cents a cup. So it's really one of the world's cheapest luxuries. It's much cheaper to drink good tea than drink good coffee. So there's no excuse for drinking bad tea. And then I learned